Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and I just want to do a little bit of grumbling. As it is, I come down here to this park. It's in my neighborhood. It's a neighborhood park, and it's lots of kids out here. Parents. I usually point my SUV in the other direction, though. That side or this side, just depends on where the sun is and if it's going to be bothering me and all that. And as I was driving here, I wasn't wanting to focus on that, but as I was driving here, and my point is that this is a park where kids are going to be on that part. But I'm driving here, and it's not a very long, like I said, it's a neighborhood park, and I'm in the neighborhood. It's not a main street like this one where I'm driving at that time. It's where all the houses are. I'm leaving my home. I just left. I'm just got on the road to go, and somebody comes really fast behind me. Okay, this is a neighborhood with kids. Well, in fact, the youngest one I think is still in when she walks. Her children. Youngest one is in a stroller. That young. And then there's a younger one that walks by the stroller. Okay, these are kids. And then there are the other neighbors right there, right in that area where I was, where their kids are young teenagers and tweens. So anyway, kids. And people are trying to drive like that, where a lot of people you see like that park on the side of the road against the curb. Now, this is a wide road because of the park. The other ones were narrow, and parking like that would mean that you're parking on the road. People have to go in between you and the people parked on the other side. It takes it down to one lane, one lane. Okay, so basically I'm on a road that has two lanes, but because of the people park against the curb in front of their houses, it's down to one, and there's somebody coming up behind me like they're in a real hurry to get to wherever they're going, and then tailgate. And I have a thing against tailgaters because, as I say, anytime I leave my home, there's going to be a tailgater. And it seems like they're getting closer and closer to my home. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I had just backed up and was going forward, and then somebody comes around the corner, tailgating. So then anyway, I'm passing through here, past the park and everything, and that person's still on my tail. They could have gone the other direction, but no, they're going to get on my tail. And because people parked on both sides of roads, it's not exactly one lane, but it's narrow. They're tailgating me with a bunch of kids around. There were a bunch of kids. I think there were at least five families with kids out there at that time, and right there they're tailgating me, trying to go faster. So I get, and I'm parked usually across from where I am sitting right now, and then the stop sign's a little bit further, not very far, and I was going to park there, but they were tailgating me, so I turned into a what is it called, an alley. Made a turn on this side and turned around and parked here. Okay, so anyway, of course, they had to stop for me to turn. And then once I turned, I looked, and they would, just that little short distance, they had sped up so fast. They had barely stopped at the light. Not the light, the stop sign. Who does this? A lot of people. Seriously, in neighborhoods with children. At a park where there are like 5 families of children, and many of those children were little bitty. I'm talking, not infants, but, there were some infants out there, but I'm talking the ones out of the strollers, like 2 years old, 3 years old. Yeah. It's not like you don't know that. It's the sign is right there that says it's a park. And they got all the park. It's a park. You can see it's a park. You can see kids, you can see them running, but you're going to have to go faster than the speed limit by the park, in the neighborhoods. I just really think people are, too many people, not everybody does that, but they're just so self-centered, self-involved. Oh, they want to get there a minute or two earlier. But they don't think they could kill a kid. They could kill some elderly people. There are certain times of the day I see a lot of elderly people out here. And there really actually is a lot. And they come and they meet out there. They sit underneath the gazebo kind of thing. And I don't know what you call the big ones, but you're at a park. And where all the, like you can cook barbecues out there and everything. All the tables and all. And yeah, you're going to go crazy driving past there with people getting in and out of their SUVs and whatever. And somebody, it takes a little more time for them to get out. You're going to hit them? Because they're not fast enough? I've seen so much sitting here. I'm disgusted with it. I really am. Okay. Now, earlier today, get this. We go to 2 stores. We were only going to go to one, and I said, oh yeah, I need to go to the pharmacy at another one not too far from where we were. We were on our way to that one store. So, all of a sudden the sun peeking through here. So, I go to the one that I needed to go, I remembered first. And I'm going down the road. There's 3 lanes. I need to be in the far right one, which there's no, once we get to the light, there's no turning lane. Some of them have turning lanes also. Now there it doesn't, and they've been working on it, putting new things in there, but there's no turning lane. And so I'm in my correct lane, and I don't need to turn, so I don't have to turn. No turning light, nothing. It's just 3 red lights because, they have a turning lane in the left, but not in the right. So, I'm doing what's right, and all of a sudden, next to me, all of a sudden, a lot of activity out here. But anyways, all of a sudden, next to me, there is this truck. It's a newer model because that newer kind of colors they're doing, like a year or 2 maybe, where they're kind of totally different, like they're pale, very pale colors. This one was a brown one. They don't look like the colors that we're used to on automobiles, on vehicles, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, and it was a brown one, and it was a truck. And they're pulled into the lane next to me to my left, and he stops, the light's red, and he just pulls right out in front of me and turns left. Turns right. He stops at the light, it's red. He moves up and turns to the right in front of me. Now, if that light had just turned green and I started to go, I would have hit him, sideswiped him. And he would have been at fault for turning to the right in front of me. You see? And Adam was talking at the time. Adam is a chatterbox. I used to call him a man of few words, but the past couple of years, after, I can't even say after he retired because he wasn't retired, but the past couple of years, he's just a chatterbox. We get in the car, chatter, and he's sitting there and he's just chattering away. And I looked over at him. I said, "Did you see that?" And he goes, "What?" He didn't even see it. And he didn't have his eyes closed. He was looking forward. He just didn't even see it. I'm like, okay, dude. And you wonder why I do the driving. Because he's not seeing everything. Exactly. And he also has a lead foot. Seriously, lead foot. Wow, when he's driving, it's like, you can't drive that fast here. So, anyway, So there was that. So then that's right at the store. I mean, right there, I just go past that light and I turn right, and there, I'm in the parking lot of the store. So you would think that would be enough, right? Yeah, right. Okay, so we go to the next place, and after I do my business there, we go to the next place, and this store, it's how do you say it? It's like a corner of a store, like a strip mall, and it has some part of it is going in one direction, and the other it meets it meets it. Why can't I get my words out today? I'm telling you, it's been an all-day thing today. But it's a corner store in the mall. Part of it's on one part of it faces south, and the other part faces east. How about that? It's all one store, like an L-shaped store. So anyway, the reason I'm saying that is because the parking lot is like that too. So just think, somebody's parking really close to it, on the south, going north, parking north, when it's to the south, the door is to the south. And then the other people are facing west when they park, to get on the east side. That is so confusing, is it? Especially if you don't know your north, south, east, west. But anyway, and people, for me, I drove up there was nobody parked in front of me, nobody parked, it was not busy. As soon as I parked, next thing I know, there's somebody parking left and the right, and in that corner, all this, and I'm like, wow. And so when Adam just went in there to get a few things, it was real fast, and I'm starting to back up. Well, somebody's trying to back into a parking place. I don't like when people do that. They back into their parking place, and they cause all kind of havoc for other people who are there. And that's sure enough, that's what they did. I'm trying to back up. The guy next to me, he jumps into his car, like, was he gonna try to beat me out of the parking spot? And he's right next to me. His door is so close, and I have to wait for him to get in because I might hit his door. And then this other one, they're pulling up and back and trying to get into that spot. The L shape, this L thing going on here. And I'm like, what nerve, really? What nerve, okay, for somebody to think, okay, they're going to stop everybody who is right there. Everybody. And you can see that there was 3 people on the other direction, so you got to stop everybody too, so you can back into that parking spot. And by the way, before we left that other store, I'm backing up, and Adam's saying, nobody's coming this way. Well, they shouldn't be, because it's a one-way direction, but some woman backed out, and she made sure she raced so she would pass me as I'm backing out. Adam goes, how rude, my gosh. Didn't she not see you, but already backed out? And she wrapped herself around me. Her thing, not wrapped herself around me, went around me. Wow, where are my words today? I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. They're all jumbled up today. Not all, but enough. Anyway, what is going on here? Okay, anyway, well, one thing is, since I got out here, I've had this going on in my chest. Having to clear my voice and all this. What the crap is going on? It's like, it's allergies, I'm fairly certain, but my goodness. Pretty bad all of a sudden. And I've been saying that recently. Like the tree across the street on the other side that I mentioned, if I sit underneath that tree, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to sit there and cough and sneeze, allergy attack big time. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of grumble about this. It's like, what is wrong with people? Why do you have to be so self-centered? I'm backing out, woman. You see me backing out, so you're going to throw your car in reverse and scoot, make sure you floor it and go around me? Really? I was only like 2 spaces down from her. And yeah, you know, guess what? There are kids in parking lots like that. Today is Sunday. You don't think there's kids there? I just really, and like where I am right now, there's a school. Oh man, the sun peeking through here, but they're peeking through. There's a school, an elementary school, right over to the left of me behind the trees. And when that school lets out each day, I think they're on spring break now. Yeah, they are. But well, they will be this week. But when the school lets out for the day, or even in the morning, when the schools, when parents are dropping off their kids, this road right here is not part of the school zone. It stops right. Let's see, right. Okay. Anyway, it stops right around the corner there. So this whole road right here is not within the school zone, but it's 30 miles per hour as it is. Okay, instead of 20, it's 30. And you got it. Yes, you guessed it. People get on this part right here. They're having to go 20 through the school zone. You know, just right around the corner right there is where it stops. They hit this road and they floor it. I am not kidding. They floor it. You think kids don't walk to school? Kids that live in this neighborhood, you think they wouldn't walk to school? You don't think there are parents behind here letting their kids out? Because the line will be way down the road. Parents dropping off and everything. So they'll get back here and let their kids out. You know, whatever, especially if they're like 5th grade or whatever. They let them out to walk the rest of the way. Or they walk with them. Or it's the grandparents walking from their kids to school. You know, their grandkids to school. Yeah. So you're going to floor it? I'm not talking to you, of course. You know how it is. But that's what they do. They floor it. I have actually been sitting there, you know, and that's the same thing when the kids get out. And when kids are dropped off, when kids get out of school, and people get on this road and they floor it. They got their kids in their SUV, so they're not concerned. It's pathetic. They're gonna floor it. I have seen some drive so fast, it has scared me. Because if they were to hit one of these cars parked on the side of the road, waiting to pick up their kids, that would be disastrous. But no, it's okay. They're in a hurry. No, it's not okay. It's not about you. It's not about you being in a hurry. And you, whoever that person is. It's ridiculous. What happened to people thinking? Yeah, I could continue that, but I could stop right there too. What happened to people thinking? I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying those who do these things. Thinking about others, you know, to continue. But I could stop right at thinking. What happened to people thinking? Really? Okay, one other one. Right there where, like I'm saying, where the speed limit changes from the 20 school zone to the 30 road, you know, when it goes back to the regular 30. That road over there is wide like this one too. And I think it's actually, maybe it's as wide or if not wider. But I park over there sometimes. There's a little bit of woods over there. And people have bird feeders out there. I like to watch the birds and all this. Anyway, in the woods, because it's just now turned spring, there's not much, you know, it's still winter like. Okay, there was somebody walking up, but for the most part, you know, you can see right through the woods, in other words. And I'm sitting there, and it never fails. It just never fails. Though, now, from the other road, the next bigger road, that's where the school starts, you know, the corner of the school. So I'm parked past the school, closer to here. But it never fails that somebody's going to turn down there right past the school, floor it. Seriously, flooring it. You know, their foot to the floor, the pedal, to give it gas, and they're going 50 as they fly by me. That's right past the school. You know, the kids go out for their recess and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, what idiots. People just think, okay, I'm going to floor it? What could be on that person's mind? Seriously. That I cannot imagine that, you know, we can't blame, oh, they're all teenagers or something like that. No. I just cannot imagine. It like I said, it never fails. And they get so close, too. You know. And I have to think, what's wrong with them? So many people doing this, you know, and then you get on the road. That's just in the neighborhood, all this stuff. Get on the road, you know, with that part of it, in the neighborhood. Then there you are in the grocery stores. You know, I didn't mention this about the guy who just turned in front of me. That's not the first time that's ever happened to me. You know, the other time that it happened to me, it was in a suburb of Dallas, closer to Dallas than where I am, and it was just somebody did that right in front of me, and they hit him. This was years ago. This was decades ago, and they hit I had a truck back then, newish truck, and just hit it as they turned. They didn't care. They were in a hurry. Wow. When you're at a red light and you don't have to turn, you're going to move out of the way for that person or something that has to turn right there and right there? It's just so sickening. It really is so sickening that so many people put themselves first, and they think they don't have to abide by any rules, no lights, no street lights, no street signs, no anything. You don't turn in front of somebody. You know, you don't turn in front of the person here in the United States that's to your left. You don't turn in front of them. I mean, my goodness. Oh, it's like, what is wrong with this world? Where is there any dignity left in people? Where is there any, you know, oh, we're in the neighborhood, we got to slow down. These are kids out here. And how about the thing of people parking on the corners of streets? I have never seen that until more recent, to the past few years. People parking on the corner of the street. Like you have a street sign, they're parked right there. You know, and you go to turn right, and they're parked right there. Right there at that corner. I mean, it's not how it's supposed to be. So, but these days, people seem to think, that doesn't matter, I can do what I want to. We're becoming less civilized. Seriously. Because of people who do things like this. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I just need to get that off my chest. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.